to Acoustic Guitar, episode 15, Percussive Guitar Technique. You know, percussive techniques used on acoustic guitar are going to offer the guitarist an entirely different direction of playing. And with the added, different percussive hits and taps you can make that are going to be applied on the acoustic guitar's upper top of the soundboard, maybe even on the side or on the guitar's lower soundboard, each area is going to offer different tonal responses from the instrument. It turns it almost more into a drum, and you have these different tonal characteristics coming from the different areas of how the soundboard or the wood is joined, or the thickness of the wood. It's all going to incorporate a different sound where you're going to be hitting. And this percussive sound, when it's mixed with chords or single note melody lines, can introduce some very cool effects both rhythmically and musically. So in this episode of Acoustic Guitar, we're going to focus on doing a basic introduction lesson to the idea of percussive guitar technique. Now, once you have a chance to practice the different hits on the guitar's body and learn how to incorporate them, you're going to be better able to begin using this percussive idea in your own guitar playing. So let's not waste any more time. We'll zoom in on the guitar and get started with the first examples. Okay, so dealing with these percussive hits is going to be kind of different for a lot of people, but the idea behind this lesson plan is going to be the introduction to the technique overall, so you can help yourself getting used to it. And the first thing we're going to do, which is the easiest thing to do, is just learn how to inject a couple of percussive hits around just some standard chord changes. And I've got some really basic chord changes here. I'm just using an F major, a C major, and then into a B flat major, and then just move back to the C, taking it back to the F. So what our goal will be initially with doing this technique is to establish a good level of coordination between the strumming or the plucking that you do, and then move on to incorporating the hits that we're going to do. Now let's talk about percussive hits in a general sense. Now we're going to be looking in example 1 here at just a percussive hit, which is generally what's happening when you hit the guitar with your top of your hand lower down, because it's giving you that lower register sound from the lower part of the guitar body. That sort of slap sound. It's kind of a lower in register, because this area here of the guitar is referred to as the lower bout. That's spelled B-O-U-T, the lower bout. And this area is a darker sound. It's got a warmer, fatter tone to it. Then rather when you go up here, this is going to be more dense, and it's going to be a little bit more higher register attack. And you can tell I'm doing it differently too, because in this area, I'm using my thumb. Now when we do those ones, we're going to call that a body tap. And when we're doing it down here, we're going to call that a percussive hit. So we're going to try and separate two areas of the guitar to get started with. And remember as well that you can do this. I'm doing this with the pads of my finger when I hit the guitar, but you could use the tops of your fingernails and get another type of an attack. You could use more of the fingernail of your thumb hitting the body tap, and you could get another sound from that altogether. So let's just go through this first riff with you and bring you up to speed on what's happening with, first of all, the percussive attacks here. So I'm going to go into an F chord, and I have no guitar pick. I'm not using a pick at all, and I'm just going to hit that chord, and then I'm going to do the percussive attack, and again, I'm using the pads of my finger and just slapping into that lower bout region of the guitar. So I've got the quarter note, and then I've got that downbeat of 2, and then I'm going to be doing some eighth note hits here. Well, it's an eighth note into a quarter note because it sustains a little bit there with that F chord. And then one more percussive hit up into that area there, that's the lower bout area. So I'm still hitting the same area, I still have the same type of an approach, and those ideas are happening on the beats of 2, and then again on 4, and then in between with the chord shots, I've got that happening on the beat of 1, and then on the upbeat of 2 into the downbeat of 3, and then all together we're doing it like this: downbeat of 1, percussive hit. And then into the chords again, upbeat of 2, into the downbeat of 3, percussive hit on 4. All right? just get that element down first, you know, being able to, you know, interject between the chord hit and then what you're doing with the percussive hit. You know, get both of those moving between one another fairly smoothly, and then what you're going to be able to do is start moving more into the whole aspect of combining these ideas into one fluid concept. And then when you feel ready, you can take it into the chord of C major next. And then you can move it into B flat. You can tell there that the B flat pushes in that fourth measure back into the C chord. So, you know, go through that, develop that at first. If you don't really know your bar chords too well and that's really difficult for you to play that through, maybe just take a couple of, you know, basic open position chords, you know, whatever you find that it's, you know, your favorite chords, and maybe start a loop with those instead. You can tell really what I'm doing here in this progression if you know your theory a little bit. I'm using a key of F major, and I'm taking the 1 chord into the 5 chord into the 4 chord. So you could really do that kind of a progression. You could, you know, model it into any key that you would want to. So I'll let you carry on with that, get that started first. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back in a moment, and I'm going to work through example 2 with you, which is where we're going to blend some body taps coming in with the percussive hits. Hey everyone, Andrew Wasson. Just wanted to make a quick announcement about CreativeGuitarStudio.com. You know, if you haven't grabbed a free membership yet, just head to the website, click on Create Account, fill this form out. You got a free lifetime account to the website. Once that's in place, you can just jump into the members area here where we got all the lesson plans. And my quick announcement I wanted to make is I'm really excited because we've got the latest installment in the Advanced Guitar program posted to the site. Now, in the Advanced Guitar program is packed full of information. Each of these project lessons is around 2.5 hours of instruction. There's probably around 160 to 180 hours of instruction just in these lesson plans alone. The latest installment covers minor pentatonic, and there's 24 videos. This lesson plan is 2 hours and 45 minutes long when you run through all the lessons. If you've got a full premium membership, you can download the course files and an MP3 jam track. It's really quite the program. So if you're looking for a really serious guitar course online, right from beginner, you know, I've got the introductory program here, or intermediate, if you feel like you're more of an intermediate player and you want to work through, you know, lesson plans that are really geared to understanding the guitar fingerboard much better. You know, so if that's kind of your level, I've got those set up. But, you know, a lot of people really enjoy the advanced material. It's all the major scales, major 7 arpeggios and chords and minors and pentatonics and lots of improvisation exercises throughout here. So if you really want to jump into some great step-by-step material that is really organized, and in no way is it some kind of random guitar course. Like, I know I've heard so many complaints over the years about all the random lessons, and then probably for a lot of you, you're sick of the random lessons on YouTube that don't follow any kind of order and sequence. Well, you know, grab your free membership, start with that. But, you know, when you're ready to advance to sort of the next level there, you can grab one of my membership plans. Basic monthly membership's $19.95 a month, and then if you want to upgrade to the premium package, you do save $60. It's a one-time payment of $179.40, but that does give you full access to everything on the site. If you want a great step-by-step, well-organized guitar course, just head over to CreativeGuitarStudio.com and set up your membership today. Well, in example 2, as you can tell, we're starting to incorporate both body taps and percussive hits. And we're doing these together and mixing them differently. And I think it's important that you shoot for more complex approaches with this stuff. You know, getting a couple of percussive hits in is okay, but it really starts to sound quite interesting when you can blend and mix these into something a little bit more unique. Now, mixing the changes, you know, that we're doing here with the percussive percussive concepts, it's a little bit more challenging, but you just have to learn how to coordinate it. You have to pay lots of attention in the beginning when you're first learning them, and then it starts to become more and more unconscious, and your ability for it is going to become easier and easier. Now, in this example here, we're dealing with a key at E minor idea, where we're coming in off of an E minor bar chord at the 7th fret position. It's built off the 5th string root from the intermediate guitar curriculum of mine. This is a pattern number 2 minor triad built off 5th string bar chord style. Now we're giving that on the beats of 1 and 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. But in between, on the 2nd beat and 4th beat, we're going to be adding 2 different ideas. On the 2nd beat, we're going to be doing an 8th note feel where we'll have a body tap and a percussive hit. So we'll be mixing those two. So it'll be body tap, percussive hit together. So from the beginning of the measure, just the first 2 beats, measure 1, 1, 2, and then we're going to be on the 3rd beat at that point. And we'll have another E minor chord come in. But then to wrap up the measure, we're going to have a body tap wrap things up. So we'll have a 3rd beat, E minor chord come in, body tap on the 4th beat. Altogether, that first measure is going to be operating like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right? And that's going to take care of that first measure. Then we're going to move over into the A minor chord. We're going to have that chord come in with the same principles that we were just dealing with over that E minor chord. The A minor is going to be the same way. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Then when we move to the D major chord, it's going to be nearly the same, except a little bit of a twist on this one, because what we're going to do is on the 3rd beat, we're going to do a down-up strum, and we're going to take care of an 8th note feel on that 3rd beat of that measure. So otherwise, everything else is the same. That's a D, basic D major chord off the 5th string root, 5th string at the 5th fret. And so what we're going to be doing is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So we've got the down-up strum now happening on the 3rd beat. So it's a little bit more involved, but still not too crazy, fairly manageable. So far we've got an E minor chord, moving to a similar approach on an A minor. That's the 5th fret bar chord A minor, pattern number 4 from the curriculum. Then to a pattern number 2 major bar chord on the 3rd measure, but now on the 3rd beat, remember, we've got those 8th notes coming in. All right, and then what's going to happen is on the 4th measure, we're going to come in with some different stuff. We're going to have that 8th note feel remain with a B minor chord on the 3rd beat. We're going to have that happen on, same thing happen as before on the downbeat of 1, so we have the quarter note. And then the same thing with those first 2 hits for the percussive attacks. We're going to have the body tap and the percussion hit. So we're going to have 1, 2, and then the strums of 8th notes on the 3rd beat, 3, and. But here's the slightly different idea. On that 4th beat, we're going to do some 8th notes there with the percussive stuff, and we're going to do 2 body taps on the top of the guitar there. So those are going to come in on the 4th beat. Altogether, the 4th measure is going to sound like this. 1. So a little bit different feel. Here it is again. Okay, so that's the idea on example 2. It's just, it's got some changes going on. It's got the body taps being incorporated now. Still, like I said, not too crazy of an idea to learn, but you're going to pay a lot more attention and get yourself zeroed in a little bit more with your coordination and everything. But let's take it again nice and easy from the top. That's the E minor. Over to the A minor next. Okay, next to the D major. This one's going to be important for the 8th notes on the 3rd beat. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. All right, a little bit different there, a little more grooving. Let's go to the 4th measure with the B minor. Remember, it's going to have those double taps on the 4th beat. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So a little bit different, a little more grooving there when we get to the 4th measure. Put it all together. We got this. So these are just ideas, for you to get started with, and different ways of striking the guitar above the sound hole area, and then over at the lower bout area, we were talking about that. And the idea is to get used to the coordination between the parts. I mean, that's the big factor with this is, the idea of overall of what you're doing, you're just kind of slapping at the guitar. It's very simple, but to put some kind of a rhythmic element to it is the big factor. You know, a lot of times people just kind of slap at the guitar with, you know, nonsensical ways, but put it into a rhythmic context. You know, it's going to be a lot cooler sounding, and you're going to be a little bit more grooving once you get some of these up to, you know, some of the tempos that you would like to have them at. So anyway, this brings us to the end of Acoustic Guitar, Lesson 15, Part 1. Then what we're going to be doing in the Part 2 section of Percussive Guitar Technique is we're going to take a look at mixing some ghost note concepts with percussive technique. That's where we're kind of lifting our fingers over a chord and getting this ghosting idea happening with the chord. Right? So we're going to look at that, and we're also going to take a look at blending together some multiple percussive ideas and really just creating a nice riff for you to try mess around with. So we're going to be looking at those two coming up next. Now, to be able to access stuff for the Part 2 sections of all these programs, you are going to need a membership into the website. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the memberships. The basic monthly membership is the most popular one usually for people to start at, you know, just so that they can get in. You can check stuff out, get an idea what's going on in the site, and then a lot of times what happens is people will upgrade out of the basic into the premium so that they can access all of the handouts and MP3s and everything for the courses. With the basic membership, you only have access to the videos for the courses. Now, a lot of people do enjoy the videos. You know, they work with them. I have lots of long-term basic monthly members, but the more common thing that happens is people will upgrade into a premium membership package. And now with the membership packages, you've got access to all of these elective courses like acoustic guitar, guitar soloing, there's the masterclass series, there's the guitar blog series that's up there, and then there's also the main element of the website, which is the course, the curriculum itself with the introductory program, intermediate program, advanced program. There's tons of information. Aside from that, there's another elective that I'm running called Quick Riffs, which is just as the name sounds, tons of riffs that you can mess around with. And if even you just take out the free membership, which is super popular, there's thousands and thousands of free members on the site. And with the free membership, you get access to 30 free lessons. They're called Quick Licks. There's tons of them. There's handouts. It's, you know, really well organized, and I think you're really going to enjoy that series. So check it out. Go to my website at creativeguitarstudio.com. At least get the free membership. Check out all the stuff that's on there accessible in the free package, free general package. And then whenever you're ready, you can upgrade into either the basic monthly or the annual premium. So I look forward to catching up with you next over at creativeguitarstudio.com. The Creative Guitar Studio Introductory Guitar Program is a comprehensive 10-lesson system with over 90 pages of material designed to take the most basic guitar student up to an intermediate level of playing. It includes all of the most important open position chords, foundational music theory, and music reading exercises. Plus, every lesson has a detailed answer key to help you correctly understand the material as you study at home. From reading music notation to guitar theory to chords and rhythm guitar, the Introductory Guitar Program will give you the foundation that you need to move up to the next level of playing. The Introductory Guitar Program is available for instant download in the View Our Products area at creativeguitarstudio.com. Thanks for watching Part 1 of the lesson. Be sure to sign up for a membership at creativeguitarstudio.com to watch Part 2. In Part 2, we'll practice using ghost notes with percussive technique, and we'll also learn a riff that blends several percussive concepts together. Plus, as a member, you'll also be able to download the handout for this lesson along with many more professional guitar lessons. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up next in the members area.